Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to New York session. I hope you're doing well. Um, incredibles. So, I wasn't actually planning to do a session today because today is Friday. Now, probably going forward, I might probably not do a session on Fridays because Friday's price action are always a little bit awkward, and especially in the afternoon. The market is actually done. The rest is just gonna consolidate for the rest of the day or manipulate. There's not going to be any intentional delivery of price to a certain level. Okay, so I might reconsider doing Friday sessions, not because of anything, but because it's just gonna give an impression that you can get a trade idea on Friday, which you're not. And the reason is Friday's price is either going to consolidate or it's going to manipulate. Now, if you don't understand where that manipulation might happen or where that manipulation might lead to, then you might be a bait for that manipulation. So once price delivers to a level that we are expecting, that should be it. So I was expecting price to be delivered to the upside for this week, to attack previous week high, and then potentially trade to that volume imbalance over there, and they have delivered that. Now, when that happens, that's it. Whatever happens going forward is irrelevant. Okay, like today's price action is irrelevant because one, it can completely wipe out all what the week has done, and then two, it can probably continue going up. Who knows? Okay, but that's not the point. The point is, where is price gonna go for the week? And once we get there, that is it. You move to the sidelines. Okay, that's why I said I might consider not doing sessions on Fridays, because by Friday usually price has delivered to expectation. All right. Also, what I might also start doing, I don't know. I'll think about it. Because I'm going through I'll say a transformation about my view on price based on certain things that I am discovering. Yeah. Now, the transformation is the pairs, okay? The number of pairs that I'm looking at on a given day. The transformation, or what I am seeing, is that the more pairs you look at, the more confusion, right, the market becomes. the more pairs you focus on, the more you get confused. Now, personally, that transformation is huge, and it's something that I've resisted for a very, very long time, which is trading just one or two pairs. But based on the current understanding that I have with regards to some of the things that I'm being exposed to in what price does, it requires focused attention. Okay, it requires focused attention, and that focused attention need to be channeled through these pairs, not all of them, but through a few pairs. So I'm thinking about it. Okay, I might do a session looking at all of them, depending, and then personally I'll only be looking at one or two. Now, as a guide or as a analyst trying to help you, it'll be better for me to guide you the same way that I am also being led, so that you will also see the same things that I'm seeing, right? And to do that, the more you focus on so many pairs, the more distractions you become, right? You get distracted. Now, I know I'm speaking metaphorically. I'm speaking metaphorically, but I am saying a lot here. And yeah, I'm being guided, right, to only trade two pairs, maximum three. And based on that guidance, it's gonna affect me looking at all these pairs for you or for our viewers. So maybe we will do a poll and ask the viewers to see what they want. Do they want me to look at these pairs and then give my opinion, but I will not be trading them going forward? Okay, I will not be trading any of these going forward. I'll only be trading two, and that two is euro, the pound, and then I'll be looking at the dollar with these three. So the pairs that we'll be looking at will be euro, pound, dollar, and then these three, which is gold, crude oil, and then the S&P 500. All right, and then we get rid of the rest. That is what I will personally, going forward, going to do. Okay, so I will let the admin create a poll and then ask the viewers if that is something that they want to flow with me, or you want me to look at them, give my opinion, and then you go with that opinion, but I will not be actively looking at them. All right, okay. So with that said, dollar index, we've actually got to our target. Now on the lower time frame, it's currently trading at the this fair value gap. And it's end of the week, it's Friday, so I don't expect any, or I'm not expecting any big movement away from it, and then I'm not expecting a trade through. Now if we trade through it, then next week we will be expecting price to come and attack these lows here. Okay, these lows and then that low. If we trade through that imbalance, if we hold it, then next week we might come back up to attack the high and then maybe reject. So this gap is now going to be quote unquote our anchor point. What price does here will decide what price is going to do. Okay, what price does here will decide what price is going to do. So that's why I said today, if I had my way, I will not do a session, because one, I'm not expecting a big move away from it. Two, I'm not expecting a move down from it, because it's a strong fair value gap with strong intention behind it. So that will give us euro, the opposite, same thing. And yesterday, if you were here, let me see if the trade is still there. Yesterday, if you were here, this was the trade idea that I gave, which is selling this 1 hour fair value gap and targeting the imbalance, and they delivered gracefully, nicely moved to the downside into the weekly fair value gap. They actually went straight to the middle of the weekly fair value gap. So that was nice, and in my opinion, maybe next week can continue going down, as long as the H4 last up candle is still there. As long as the H4 last up candle is still there, we are likely going to continue going lower. And most importantly, we don't want them to come back above the previous week low. So this low here, which comes in at 1.12659. If price comes back above it, then it will reject the previous week low. Then we might likely resume going higher next week. So keep that also in mind, that we don't want price to reject the previous week low. British pound also delivered nicely. We traded to that fair value gap, and then price dropped gracefully to the target, which was this low. Okay, so again, if you were here yesterday, that would have been a nice trade. Now you can see how this one formed in New York session, this one formed in London session. As part of the transformation that I'm going through, you can see how these two pairs delivered exactly what we wanted to see. Oops. Yeah, I think I deleted it. Okay, let me draw it again because it looks so beautiful. Okay, so as I was saying, you can see how euro delivered nicely, pound delivered nicely as well. Compare it to the other pairs. Okay, what price did? And this is what, my attention is being brought on, that it's not about the number of pairs, but it's about the delivery of price. Because there is you all know, I believe that there is an algorithm that delivers price, and I've taught you how to open yourself up for it. So that same algorithm, okay, it has a level of understanding where maybe, and this is me, I won't say philosophically speaking, but I'm just saying maybe, okay, this algorithm also has a mind, or it has an intelligence where it knows what to do, when to do it, which pair to move. Okay, just think about it. It should have an intelligence to know which pairs is going to move, when it's going to move it. And that's the new insight that I got about the algorithm, where it actually moves certain pairs, and then certain pairs are just never going to be moved. But if you force a move on it, it will go against you. Okay. I know today I'm sounding a little bit cryptic, but it's all good. Anyway, these two will deliver much cleaner, better price action than the rest, because everybody and their grandmother is trading this pair and that pair. They are very highly liquid. Hence, there's a lot of emotions behind this pair. Okay, there's a lot of emotion. Another pair too with emotions is this one, which is the dollar yen. But that one actually trades mostly outside the time that I'm awake. That is why I did not include it. But we can look at dollar yen, because that was also another recommendation, that dollar yen will be another good pair to monitor if you want to trade few pairs. So dollar yen, GBP USD, Euro USD, and then the rest that I mentioned. Okay, so we probably add dollar yen to it for you guys. Okay, and you can see how amazing it delivered. Okay, there's a lot of emotions attached to this pair. Now when I say emotions, it means energetically people look at this, and where attention goes, energy flows, right? Where attention goes, energy flows. So there will be a lot of energy behind this pair, and euro and pound, and that is where that's where a lot of energy can be harvested. That's where a lot of people can be manipulated. Anyway, so we'll add dollar yen to it, and then we'll see what we can do with it. I'm feeling excited. I'm buzzing. I don't know why, but I'm buzzing for this new chapter. Okay, so for today, a trade idea that can be taken is Euro Aussie. We are selling the New York session gap created yesterday to attack yesterday's low. So that's your trade for today. All right, that's your trade for the day. Yeah, I think that's the trade for the day. The rest, I don't trust them. Euro is done its delivery. Pound is done its delivery. Dollar yen is done its delivery. ES is also done with its delivery. Now, story on ES. Yesterday I took how many trades? Let me show the execution. Let's go on the 1 minute chart, because I had a session with my student, and anytime we do have a session, I take a trade. So initially I bought here on the 1 minute chart, using this as a breakout structure, manipulation, rejection, pullback, buying, expecting higher prices. Why? Because I told you that they will use the range that price was trading in to send price for that previous week high. All right, so when New York session came, I looked for a breakout structure, and then it failed, and then went against me, actually stopped me out right here. But this move again, the same thing. Okay, so I'm always looking for the same thing. It did that, and then it started rejecting. And based on the fact that I was expecting higher prices and rejecting, this low, that low created a divergence on the RSI. Okay, it created a divergence on the RSI. So when they started rejecting, I knew. And this is another side of the whole paradigm shift. Which is knowing something is going to happen. Okay, knowing deeply within yourself something is going to happen. And it's an intuitive knowledge where you align with the market. When you align with the market speaks to you, and then you know. So here I knew that this whole move to the downside. Now it might sound a little bit, I don't know, weird if you don't understand it, but you can know based on your alignment with the market, especially if you read the charts, not like candlestick, but you read it with like a storyline. This whole move is just to trap all those that were seeing this as a move to continue going down. The narrative is on the higher time frame, right? I will start giving you new terminologies. Yeah. So the higher time frame is like the 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 canvas where the candlestick are going to be actually printing. That's where we are drawing. The lower time frame, right, is where we sketch. The higher time frame is where the final picture will be revealed, but the lower time frame is where you're sketching. So your ability to be able to see the final picture in your mind's eye, which is if it's going to go up, can you see it forming on the lower time frame? That's what I'm talking about. So intuitively, you will know when it's forming on the lower time frame, and that's what happened here. So I jumped in, and then price went to the target, and then I was partial, and then it took the second one out, and then I was done. Now, initially I took a loss, and then this went my favor. Okay, and I was doing the same thing for crude oil, and crude oil punished me. Again, I'm not going to be right all the time. So here during the New York session, yeah, here, was it yesterday? Yep, here, this high to this low, price came back up. We took out the highs, broke down, pulled back, and then as price was going down, I was anticipating a continuation to the downside relative to that range. And yeah, I got in with my stop loss, and then that took me out. So I was not successful on the crude oil. So I'm just being honest with the trades that I took. That was the entry. Actually, I was looking for them to come and attack these lows and that low because they look too clean, but rather they decided to send it up, which, let me get rid of all this. I had the I had a feeling that that was what's going to do because of the imbalance. Sorry, the nature of this gap. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, sorry for that. So yeah, as I was saying, I had this intuitive impression that price was gonna take out this high, but I ignored it. Okay, I actually ignored it, but it's a learning curve, a learning process. And the reason why, like I said, when they went through this, right, because volume imbalances are very, very powerful. They tell a story, right? So for price to trade through them, but the fact that they took out this high, and then displays down, right, that was breaking this low. That was my reason for selling this gap, for the move back down here. But the gap, which is the one on the daily, proved stronger and then sent price higher. So that is nice, because that has set the stage for a potential higher prices going into next week. All right, so losses are also part of the game. It opens your eyes to see what you're supposed to see next, which I'm seeing this volume imbalance over here as the next draw on liquidity. So a pullback to London will send us up there. Not chasing it where we are, but a pullback to London will send us up there. Gold also did nicely. We went to that level, we highlighted, and then they started rejecting. Now today is Friday, so I don't expect much, but we will see how price will behave going into next week, because I'm expecting higher prices. Okay, it's gonna depend on how we close, so patient. Let's see how we will close today, and then next week we will look at gold. ES, I'm still expecting it to trade a little bit more higher to attack this this high. That's where I think it's going. That's the drawn liquidity for me, and until that is taken, I'm sticking with that as a bias, as a drawn liquidity. Anything coming back down will be a pullback, just like we did this week. All of that was a pullback to continue going higher. Okay, so yeah, more aggressive move to the upside. Now, why is that? The narrative again is on the monthly. I gave you a very poetic way to look at price. The higher time frame is the final picture. Okay, it's a final picture. Imagine drawing this as a circle. This is the final picture, but this being the final picture, the lower time frame will be doing something like this. Okay, the lower time frame will be doing something like this to get there, to give you the final picture. So the final picture is price needs to go here, but the lower time frame will be moving around to complete that picture. Okay, I don't know where that came from. But that was very poetic. Anyway, so we are looking for price to go and attack that monthly high. Weekly, giving us a nice rejection. Maybe today a close above last week high be the best. We don't want that kind of candle. We want a close above it, and then that'll be good. Maybe this afternoon they might send it up. They created a nice order block during the New York session, and that's where price reacted up from. It actually came back to the 15 minutes order block, and within that there was a fair value gap, the one that was left when price was moving. Again, pay attention to New York session gaps because they are the roadmap. All right, I think that's it. Let's revisit Euro Aussie again and see what it's doing. Okay, nice move. Once we take out this low, be done. All right. And by the way, I'm in that trade as well, right? So I'm telling you so that maybe it'll be a bit of a confidence boost. I'm not just telling you to take it, but I'm also in there. Let's go to the crypto market. Sorry guys, I'm going through some transformation, and it's amazing. Okay, so yesterday was crazy for Ethereum because when we had our session, I think price was, let me see where price was. Price was somewhere here. Yep, somewhere here. That's when this candle was printing, and I said that, you know, we are likely going to go for that if we stay above this, and they've gone way beyond it. Okay, they've gone way beyond it, which is good. Now it'll be too late to be getting in, so wait for maybe a down candle to form. Once a down candle forms, then you can actually look for a reaccumulation to take place, and then you can get in. Don't buy where we are now. You're too late for it. When it was in that H4, struggling to break through it, this was where I personally would have bought below this low, but you know, it screamed that way. Hype, we've gone way beyond that too. Again, that's very good, but it's all thanks to Bitcoin. Right, Bitcoin traded straight to that level, and with this candle, I think we are likely going to make another all-time high. Okay, we are likely going to make another all-time high, and this will confirm what I was telling you about this time frame. Remember, I said this candle is what? Reaccumulation. they are buying inside that, and once it's done, they take out the low just like they did over here. It will expand away. So again, this time frame is the picture. Okay, this time frame is the main picture. The lower time frame is just now printing it. All right, the lower time frame is now printing the main picture, but just visualize it, see it in your head that we are up here just like this, or just go back in price and see anytime a down candle form and they reject, what happens again? Displacement, down candle, displacement, down candle takes out the low, displacement. So same thing here, displacement. Okay, the last the last hurdle. Okay, the last hurdle is where we are now. When I say hurdle, the last point where price will struggle is where we are. So if we can get a close above, let me move this. If we remove this, if we close above it, right, we are going for our levels, the projected levels. Even though the monthly couldn't close above the previous month high, with this type of energy candles coming in, we will resume going up, which is painting the picture on the 3 months time frame. Okay, so watch 103.289. Watch 103.289. If we can close above that level on a daily basis, we will expect a continuation to the upside. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm expecting. This might just accumulate again. They might pause a little bit more and then resume going up. So wait for that pause to finish, and then you look for a continuation to the upside. Solana, I think I gave you the level, this equal high, and then that fair value gap above it, which comes in at 180.61. That is the draw on liquidity. That's where price is going. Okay, AI16Z, we have shown intention. Now AI16Z, that is also a level that if we can close above, this is a strong order block. It's similar to the order block that I spoke about on Ethereum. Okay, where in the lower time frame there's a gap, that price will struggle here, but eventually you're going to expect similar sort of price action that Ethereum did here. So it might pause, and then we will need some kind of energy to push through it. Okay, we will need some kind of energy to push through it. So with AI16Z, I think it will probably consolidate a little bit. Over here, and then because that's the that's the breaker, right? It might consolidate a little bit over there and then aggressively trade through it. Okay, so we're expecting a continuation to the upside, 45, and then eventually 62. Once we breach 62, the sky is the limit. Now, if we breach 62, where is it? No, actually 45. If we breach 45, 62 will be easily gone. Now, why do I say 45? Because that's where we had an aggressive move away from. 62, 62, yeah. We did move, but it's not aggressive enough. 45 is where we moved aggressively, like series of big down candles. So in here something happened. I'm trying to find out what happened, right? Something happened and price moved away, so they will probably defend it for some time, but eventually once we break through it, I think we will start aiming for higher prices. All right, and the picture that is trying to paint, which I spoke about yesterday, is that whenever we have a big move one side and then we start rejecting with an up candle with a wick, just know price is reversing. So this high to this low, this is just a projection. Okay, we might be reaching for equilibrium, 50%. That comes in at 1.30. Now, if you bought at where we were and price reaches 1.30, how amazing would that be? You know, when I was screaming buy, if you had bought, even if you bought here when I was saying buy, now you're back to break even. That's why I said to buy with the intention that you're going to be holding for some time. Don't buy with the intention it's going to move up now. Okay, don't buy with the intention that it's going to move now. Buy with the intention it's going to move at the right time. And we could be seeing the right time. So watch 45. Okay, watch 45. That's the key level. If we break that, we will be probably going for 1.30. Hype, I think I spoke about hype. We might be going for this equal high. So watch hype for a potential continuation. It comes in at 28. So hype might be reaching for 28. XRP, nice big move away from that level. So yesterday we spoke about this down candle, right? That if they can close above it, that's going to be very good for a continuation to the upside. Now I like this type of candles when they take the low out. When they don't, it's not cool, but when they do, it's the best. So with this down candle being rejected, this has shown clear intention of what they want to do. So we will be coming back up here. Now let's look at the picture that he's trying to paint. I think it was on the monthly. So the picture that I saw price is trying to paint over here is the reaccumulation on a big scale. So on a monthly scale, we have this whole area as accumulation. We have this whole area as accumulation, right? And this potentially is going to be the first area of accumulation. Now think about it. If this is the first area of accumulation, where is the second going to be? The second is likely going to be at least a projection of the movement down. So $5.06, that will complete a symmetrical move from these down candles. So we might print up candles to go here, and then we can then anticipate another second area of accumulation somewhere in here, then another move, depending on how many down candles they print here, that can also project a third or anticipate a third area of accumulation, right? Then maybe a pullback and continuation, or it will ultimately also present a different picture on a 3 month time frame scale. So on the 3 months, okay, we don't have any accumulation yet because these are up candles, and this will be the original consolidation with our first impulse leg, this one. So I think XRP is in its beginning stage of moving higher. All right. So it's not a bad crypto to be holding, and I think I've been saying that since when was it? I think since down here when it started this year. Yeah. Okay. That's all. I think that's all is heading for that previous week high and then the previous month high. I like the rejection that came in yesterday. Very, very strong rejection. Very, very strong rejection. So I'm expecting a continuation to the upside. 0.0024, that's the next upside objective, and then 0.00307. Then finally touchkey. We rejected that low with our first up candle, right? So I'm expecting the subsequent candles to be up candles. So expect higher prices on touchkey. We might break this up candle here. We might break this up candle and then that one, because I see this whole move as a potential buy. So we have consolidation, we break down, distribute, break down, distribute down, and then we are rejecting. So that will be an accumulation down here, then reaccumulation, and then they will come for this equal high. Looks too clean. That will be the magnet. This is where price wants to draw to. So where we are, this is where it wants to go, based on how they've attacked this low here and rejecting. All right, so that's that. Let's go and look at our trade one more time. Behaving nicely. So we will end here. I'll see you all on Monday. And yeah, we will see what we will get for next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your day, and yeah, I'll see you all later. Peace.